February 1945. Nazi Germany was surrounded as the Allied forces advanced from the west, north, and east. Italy, an entry into southern Germany, remained the last obstacle to completely cutting Germany off from the world and ending the war. However, since 1943, the Allies had been unable to break through the enemy positions that had been placed across the Italian peninsula. These fortified defensive positions used key choke points and the rugged terrain throughout the peninsula to their advantage. The very mountains and rivers had hindered every previous Allied advance. The first major defensive line stretched across the northern Apennines and blocked entry into the southern Po River Valley. The second defensive position was the Po River itself, with the width ranging from 150 to 500 yards, making crossing difficult. Bridges going across the river were wired for immediate detonation by the Germans. The third defensive line was the Alpine foothills, with fortified artillery positions and trench works reminiscent of World War I. Any successful advance to the Italian Alps would rely on speed, outmaneuvering of enemy forces, and the securing of bridges at choke points before the enemy could destroy them. Since the start of the war, no Allied advance had been able to break through any of these defenses. But by mid-April 1945, after fierce small unit fighting across the ridgelines, the 10th Mountain Division had broke through the first line of defenses at the northern Apennines and reached Highway 9 at the southern edge of the Po River Valley. Upon arrival at Ponte Sammagia, Lieutenant General Mark Clark prepared the groundwork for the next Allied offensive to penetrate the enemy positions and break into the Po River Valley. The objective would be the Bomporto Bridge crossing on the Pinero River, approximately 30 miles north in enemy territory. Taking advantage of the tactical momentum, Task Force Duff was assembled under the division's Deputy Commander of Supply, Brigadier General Robinson E. Duff, on April 20th. His mission was to race across enemy territory and seize the Bomporto Bridge before the enemy could destroy it. At dawn, April 21st, General Duff led the task force north from Ponte Sammagia. In one of the most rapid advances of the entire war, they covered the entire 30 miles before nightfall, moving so quickly that enemy artillery had little time to zero in on their positions. At the Pinero River, the task force quickly realized the bridge was still intact, but wired with enemy explosives. The enemy, caught off guard, made an attempt to stop the advance, but General Duff took advantage of the enemy's confusion and a firefight broke out. The task force won the battle and took over 60 prisoners, but more importantly, Task Force Duff had secured the Bomporto Bridge and a route for the 5th Army to advance to the Po River itself. Once General Hayes learned that Bomporto had been captured, the remainder of the force continued the drive to the Po River and the town of San Benedetto Po. On April 22nd, General Duff led the task force further into enemy territory. Despite several enemy engagements, General Duff maintained composure and continued to maneuver his task force through machine gun fire towards their objective at San Benedetto Po. Shortly before reaching the town, the task force made enemy contact, and General Duff was seriously wounded by shrapnel fragments from an anti-tank mine that exploded nearby. But even without his leadership in the fight, his men continued the mission north. With the Bomporto Bridge under 10th Mountain control, the enemy retreated to their next line of defense at the Po River. The 5th Army would follow shortly after, reaching the Po River by April 24th. From the Po River, 10th Mountain Division continued their advance along with the 5th Army, and drove the enemy further up the peninsula towards the Alps. Their lightning-fast push up the Po River Valley would become known as the Po River Breakout. In a few short days, the 10th Mountain Division accomplished what others had failed to do against the German positions. They were the first to break into the Po River Valley, the first to cut Highway 9, the first to secure a route across the Pinero River, and the first to cross the Po River, and in doing so cut the main enemy force's escape route to Brenner Pass in the Alps. The capture of the Bomporto Bridge was a key part of the Po River breakout and altered the course of the war in Italy, signaling the beginning of the end for the Axis forces on the peninsula. With the Po River in the 10th Mountain Division's grasp, General Hayes would continue the push north and closer to victory.